evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to the National Racing Network's live coverage of the TNT Rock Block, coming to you tonight for the Bolt Series for the USF 2000 cars from the Suzuka International Racing Course. Suzuka Mie Prefecture, Japan, the home of this one. This is not the layout with the S's. This is the good one, as was mentioned by some of the drivers in the pre-race. This layout is absolutely fantastic. Short rundown from the start-finish line to the 130R. One of the most famous corners in all of motorsports. But instead of heading off to the rest of the Grand Prix circuit, it's a couple of quick right-hand turns down to Degner, back up to the hairpin through the 200R, spoon curve, and then the big blast down the backstretch. This place is, quite frankly, pretty epic. Really looking forward to this race here. 12 cars on the entry list here tonight, currently headed up by a new face to the series, Nicholas Daly, in the number 28 with a quick lap time of 1:15.68 seconds. Second quick, Simon Fell, 0.6 of a second slower. Daly very quick in this race car and has to avoid some of the early issues that have befallen other race leaders here in the Bolt Series. Speaking of, let's give you a rundown here of who's where and the results from 1 week ago. Westshire picking up the win at Phillip Island by 10 seconds over Mike McCullen. Patrick Byrne coming home third. Again, another race nobody wanted to win. J.W. Miller and James Curtis are your top five at the completion of last week's race. Taking a look at the point standings. Westshire with a 7-point advantage over J.W. Miller, taking over the points lead with that win 1 week ago. Simon Fell, Bill Walker, James Curtis, your top five. 6 through 10, Mike McCullen, Timothy Watson, Stephen Thompson, Rick Cleary, and Nagisa Yashikawa. Westshire, the only driver with multiple wins in the Bolt Series. He's run all 7 weeks, 5 top 5, 6 top 10s. That's what's gotten him up to the front of the field. And with that, practice is done. It is time for qualifications to get underway. Group qualifying here at Suzuka this evening. 10 minutes will be on the board. This race will have a race distance attached to it. In addition to the time limit, the time limit really won't be a factor. Cyclone 1001 saying that's fighting words. The S's are great. I love the S's, but the Suzuka East layout is basically the S's with a couple of big corners at either end and the long straightaway, and that's about it. The West layout has all the great corners in it. Put them together and you get one of the best layouts in the world. And joined in the booth here tonight by James Watson. He will again be in-car reporting while driving in this one. Wait, Bud, you're not where. There you go. Now you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm taking literally my first laps in this circuit in this car right now as we speak. So it's gonna look really bad. But I got the proper paint scheme on, so I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna look good while I'm mowing the lawn.
Well, you're gonna look like something while you're mowing the lawn. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, world's brightest lawnmower. Let's go.
Let's take a look at the weather conditions tonight, brought to you by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania. 72-degree ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the north at 8 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies. 82-degree track temperature. So shouldn't be much in the way of conditions for these drivers to fight with as we pick up Nicholas Daly. And I tell you what here, James, when's the last time we saw somebody new come in and run 0.6 of a second faster than guys like Simon Fell and Wes Shire?
Not usually. I've seen him around in the IP2K officials, and he's definitely quick, so it's not very surprising to see him quick today. Also, stay far, far away from the curbs at Degner. They are big danger at Degner.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm surprised it's not a shirt. Suzuka is missing out on some major marketing opportunity. They need to get whoever runs marketing for the Hendricks drivers.
Yeah. So this is turns number 2 and 3 as we follow along here with Nicholas Daly. Short run back to 4. Then you're down very quickly through Degner. The blast up under the bridge. The kink off to the right. And then you're into the hairpin. Fantastic overtaking spot here because it leads off into the 200R. This is where one of the two places we could see the draft come into play a little bit. Before they get down, you have to get hard on the brakes, though, at least a fair amount of braking to run your way through Spoon Curve. That is a very tight left at the start, and then it opens way up till you get onto what is the front stretch of this layout, the back stretch of the regular Suzuka circuit. Nicholas Daly goes top of the charts, 1 minute 15.78 seconds. J.W. Miller second quick, Wes Shire, Stephen Thompson, Simon Fell, your top 5. James Watson almost 2 laps in, and he has not gotten one on the board yet.
Give me a couple seconds. I can't call it a heater, but I got something cooking.
You got a lukewarm? Oh, you had to talk! You commentators cursed yourself.
Oh, it's about time. It's about time I gotta taste my own medicine.
First in the history of broadcast, a driver giving himself a commentator's curse.
I'm an equal opportunity cursor.
Good Lord. James Curtis getting another lap in the books, 117.498. Nicholas Daly not far off of his quick time. He's continuing to set lap times in the 1 minute 15 second range. Wes Shire goes 1:15.780. 5 1,000ths off the quick time. We may have a battle after all here at the front of this field tonight, James.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to be about half a lap away from it the entire race.
Yes, that is exactly right.
It's a good thing I figured out how to pin the race stream that we comment on to next to my steering wheel so I can watch that, because yeah, I'm not getting anywhere close to actually visualizing it at any point during this race. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, you're just here so you don't get fined. There you go. James Watson on the board now. 1 minute 18.601. A solid 2.8 seconds off the quick time set by Nicholas Daly.
Gills.
Oh, man, what a power slide by Wes Shire. Out of the final corner. It may not go fast, but damn, did that look good. Shire is across the board. New quick time for Nicholas Daly, 1:15.692. So there's your time gaps. Oh, Shire's going to loop it around, so we'll pick up Daly as he puts up heater after heater here. James Watson just a tick under 3 seconds off the pace. Daly goes quickest sector 1, quickest sector 2.
Oh, look at that. Into the top 7.
Well, there's only 10 that have taken time, so...
Let me have this.
We'll give it to you. Another purple sector for Nicholas Daly. This lap could be an absolute monster. 1:15.382. He took 3/10 off his quick lap. Good Lord, man. Save some for the rest of us. Daly going to have almost 4/10 on Wes Shire. He is getting a little bit of drafting help. Believe that's James Curtis just ahead of him on the racetrack. It is. Sounded like Daly may have backed out there. J.W. Miller following Daly around now. He's going to get a very good tow here up the start-finish straight. Oh, but the race pole sitter, at least initially, Nicholas Daly pulling off into the pit area. We'll follow along here with J.W. Miller and James Curtis. Oh, my goodness. J.W. Miller's gone. He buried himself so deep in the soft wall, the car exploded. Nothing was visible. Please, dear Lord, somebody on Twitch clip that. See if Wes Shire is going to have anything here for Nicholas Daly. Checkered flags are out. We are done with qualifications. Drivers still have 1 minute and 35 seconds with which to complete their qualification laps. The lap you're on is going to count. Once you cross the line, your session is completed. Shire comes across the line. The Homestead Coffee Roasters Tales from Rukon. Number 16, he will be second quick, and Wes is working the cool down lap here, so let's bring him into the booth. We didn't get to talk to him at the end of the Bolt race, or the Free V race, I should say, but Wes, congratulations on getting the win down there, and you're looking pretty sporty here in the USF 2000s as well.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting Free V race. There was some incidents, but yeah, they happen. It's nobody's fault. So, but yeah, we'll see what we can do here, and I think it's going to be pretty tough. Nicholas looks like he's got a lot of speed in that car.
Yeah, that boy's hooked up. I'm not sure if you're going to need some Lionheart, some Black Eddie's Darkness, Arise. What's the perk me up here to get you those extra 4/10 that you're looking for?
Yeah, you know, lately I've been drinking the limited edition Peru single origin, actually. Been really good. It's a much sweeter coffee, but really, really excellent. So, gotta love that Homestead coffee, keeping me awake and alert enough to drive this stuff.
Look at that. He got the first plug in. Let's get the second one in here as we get ready to go to the grid as well.
So yeah, as always, got to thank you for doing the broadcast, Jason, for putting everything together, the Tuesday night rock block, and of course, shout out to my other life as a D&D live streamer, YouTube.com, Tales from Rukon, Friday nights at 7:30 Eastern. So, good time.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Good luck here tonight. And yeah, this one's going to be fun. Let's show you the starting grid for tonight's race as we take a look at the, of course, Coca-Cola Zero sponsored Ferris wheel. I don't know how much of a fan of that I am. Nicholas Daly going to be your pole sitter by almost 4/10 over West Shire. Those two are going to occupy row number 1. Simon Feld, not far off of West. He actually set a pretty good lap there in qualifying to line up third. J.W. Miller, though, almost 0.8 of a second back. So a lot of speed in the top 2 or 3 cars, and then we kind of fall off to J.W., who's going to be in no man's land outside of row 2. Oh. James Curtis, Steven C. Thompson over 1 second back. James Watson, Bill Walker on row number 8. Mike McCullen, Peter Donchak on row number 5. Row 6 will have Mike Barry and Matt Galida. Neither of those drivers turning a lap in qualifications, and they may not be getting on the grid here either. They did not get out to the grid, so we are getting ready to go racing here. And James, what do we expect to see?
I don't know what we're gonna see. Turn 1 is gonna be interesting with it being 130R, because the off-throttle oversteer in this car is dangerous, to say the least. So if you don't lift off in the right way, cars are going to spin in front of other cars, and there's going to be carnage. And if you manage to survive that, then we go down to the tight little hairpin right for where you'd normally be taking the Casio triangle. So, yeah, this first, we're likely going to be watching some chaos. I am very scared right now.
Yeah, not really a surprise here. In fact, to the point the field almost has to go single file through this double right-handed corner. Leads out onto the back sector of the course. This is going to be the run down towards Degner. As James mentioned, you got to watch the curbs here. This thing will absolutely launch you if you catch that one in the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, and it gets even worse down to Degner too, because on the exit right here, the AstroTurf and the curbing is very high, so you feel the rear tires struggle for traction. If you stop there, you will beach it. That's how high it is for this car.
The big run down towards the hairpin. This is another fantastic passing opportunity. But you got to be very aggressive if you're going to try to make the move here, because the corner exit speed to the 200R is almost more important than getting the pass done in the hairpin.
Yeah, and then down into the entry of Spoon, you're going to be dealing with the similar amount of dangerous off-throttle oversteer that we're worried about in 130R.
So the field's going to make their way through that 200R and through Spoon. This one is going to be a ton of fun. Spoon, almost, and this may be sacrilege, I think Spoon may be a better corner than the 130R. The 130R is a test of bravery. Spoon is a test of skill and bravery.
Correct.
We are going to see the field make their way up the front straightaway. Pace car going to make the hard right-hand turn. And as always, race fans, the start of the Bolt Series at Suzuka is going to be all yours. Oh, trouble for Wes Shire. He's off the racetrack, sliding backwards into the tire barriers. Doesn't look like a ton of damage. We'll see, though, if Wes Shire is going to have to come into pit road. An almost 9-second off track for Wes Shire early on in this one. He is going to fall 8 positions all the way back to 10th.
According to what I'm hearing on the ground level, it doesn't seem like he has any damage from that. He just did the no-no and clipped the curb.
So lap number 1 of 21 going in the books. J.W. Miller having the big look. Oh, Miller way off the racetrack in the 130R. Keeps his foot in it. Maybe abusing track limits by a wide margin, but he's going to get the pass completed for second.
Track limits, who are we? The FIA? The hell with that.
That is exactly right.
Use it.
Now, I will say, though, you do have to watch that if iRacing gives you the slowdown, you do have to adhere to that. No black flags get cleared in the TNT series.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think with how he took it that's going to be a black flag or any type of slowdown. We'll see.
Seeing Wes Shire had another little off-track incident. Car looks to be okay. Two, three, four, five, a pretty good battle here. And actually, James Watson up here in 6th. Not a terrible run so far. You're really trying to do the whole keep it clean thing here.
Yeah, the draft must be really strong here for me to keep up.
You'll see the big pull down the front straightaway. Race leader Nicholas Daly, by the way, out to a 3-second lead over J.W. Miller. 3 laps into this one. Trouble for Peter Donchak. Get you the Hot Shoe Race Tour instant replay. See what happened here to... Is he still driving the footwork car?
I believe he is.
I believe he is. Yes, he is. Oh, just overcooks. Turn number 2. Tried to take the cone with him.
He just thought he was on the main track and was going through the Casio
triangle. Basically, he just overcooked it long enough to make the chicane absolutely perfect. Slide back here. Get Bill Walker, Mike McCullen battling about a second or so behind James Watson. Those two cars within about 0.4 of a second. Little bit of a lockup there from Walker. Oh, almost making contact. McCullen dives down to the inside. Nice pass through turns 2 and 3 by Mike McCullen. And that just may be the end of the action here at Suzuka. As we take a look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they're all separated by anywhere from 0.6 of a second to 0.9 of a second. That's really that kind of 9/10 mark, James, is really where you start to lose that draft effect, if you were going to have it at all.
Yeah, I'm about 2 seconds off and I lost the draft, so I'm just trying to keep it on the track and hope for some freebies.
Yeah, that's basically it. As we recap the point standings here once again, James is currently 13th in points, but he only has 4 starts.
Yeah, the unfortunate incident at the end of towards the end of last week's race didn't happen, I'd probably be a lot higher up.
Yeah, that one taking you out of the race win and wrecked by a teammate, no less. Trying to get you torqued up here. It's got you 13th in points. In fact, losing one spot to Christian Jasper. Jasper not entered in tonight's
we got
race.
Problems for Simon.
Yeah, big trouble for Simon Fell. Take a look and see what happened here. Simon Fell running in third, just back behind J.W. Miller. There's the oversteer right in the middle of the hairpin. James Curtis really had to grab the binders hard. That's going to put Curtis and Thompson nose to tail. Mike McCullen, Simon Fell, Wes Shire all going to be battling 6th, 7th, and 8th. Couple of good fights coming up here. Shire having the look on McCullen. And don't look now, but they're starting to catch up to Watson as well. So much for things being the end of the action here at Suzuka.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah, especially when they're coming up on Wattspin here pretty quickly as well. By the way, there was a wager on you. You cost the National Racing Network a $5 donation.
How so?
With your inability to podium. There was a wager placed on you in the comments by a viewer.
Yes, well, I talked to a certain Sir Michael Berry about that one.
Yes. Still your fault. We'll find some way to blame you.
That's fair.
Down to 15 to go. Here comes Simon Fell having the look inside of Watson down to the run to 130R. James covers off the inside lane. Wes Shire going to have the look to the outside. Watson able to hold him off so far. One race that will not be lacking in action is the shock race tonight. Coming up, the PM18s at the Milwaukee Mile. Draft-locked pack racing in the PM18s. I'm looking forward to that one. Man, great corner exit there for Wes Shire. Going to try to claim the preferred position on Watson, but he's not close enough to do it. Oh, Watson goes around at Spoon. Able to get the car back on the racetrack. I thought you almost were going to get beached there. Spoon has the high curb on exit as well.
Thankfully, I missed that.
You spun before you got to it. Watson able to get the car righted. He will now run in the 8th position. Stephen Thompson holding on by only 0.8 of a second over James Curtis in the battle for the 3rd and final podium position. Thompson still able to hold off Curtis. This is the battle for the third position. Pretty rapidly approaching the halfway point here. Seems like about 8/10 is about the limit of where you're going to get the big drafting help, because Curtis, if he's able to get it inside of that number, does pretty well in getting the toe up on Thompson. It's when he loses that, it gets back to about 9/10 to 1 second, that gap really starts to go away. Simon Fell, Wes Shire are catching this duo as well. Last lap time for Wes Shire, 1:16.17. Only 200ths off the pace of race leader Nicholas Daly. Everybody else in the mid 1:16s. Until you get back to 7th place, Bill Walker. The rest of the field back in the 1:17 bracket. Another fast lap time for Nicholas Daly, 1:15.96. We are at the halfway point here, 11 down. Well, 10 down, I guess, 11 to go. Here's race leader Nicholas Daly out to a 5.7 second lead. Pick up this battle once again between Thompson and Curtis. That fight was down to about a half second. Now opened back up to about 6/10, but Curtis is definitely the quicker of the two race cars.
Steven just seems to be able to pull him on corner exit just that little bit. It's down to 10 to go. Nicholas Daly holding on to that absolutely monstrous lead. 6 seconds over J.W. Miller. Stephen Thompson another 6 seconds back. Here you can see the gaps. They are all over 1 second at this point. Wow, stop the presses. I just made it into the 16s for the first time ever. Blazing speed!
By the hair on your chinny chin chin, James Watson goes 116.99. In comparison, that is a full 1.03 seconds slower than race leader Nicholas Daly.
Hey, I was 2 seconds slower, so that's some progress.
Let's liven up the comments a little bit here, people. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm busy trying to get us a new battle to watch as I'm almost within a second and a half over Billiam in front of me.
Oh, Curtis almost dipped a wheel off the racetrack. That's going to bring Simon Fell into contention here. Let's go on board with Simon.
It's a save of my life. Poor Peter's had a fatal incident tonight.
Yes. Let's take a look here. Peter Donchak getting off the racetrack, clips the curb, swings it wildly off into the kitty litter. He has to take the tow back into the pit area. Nicholas Daly, last lap time goes quickest again, 1:15.71. Actually, he's coming up to complete the lap here. We will go on board with race leader Nicholas Daly. Tell you what, James, something Suzuka doesn't get enough credit for. Elevation change. They're not huge by any respect, but they are absolutely in places that are very noticeable to the driver and really changes how the car handles.
Oh, especially in Deg, like you have like actual banking through it. Really, it's really crazy. And then when you get out of the S's to the long sweeper right before Degner, where it kind of takes you up and down like a roller coaster, it's really fun.
Even Spoon Corner, you enter that one bone flat, and then it sort of starts to go uphill just a little bit. As we see an issue on the racetrack for Mike McCullen. McCullen did almost the same thing Peter Donchak did. Also have a pass on the racetrack here. Simon Fell getting around James Curtis. That was into the hairpin. We go back to the live look here, and now Curtis going to have to try to fight off Wes Shire. Five to go here at Suzuka. Wes Shire really starting to close in on the back of James Curtis. Shire gets a great run into Spoon. We'll see if he can keep the momentum up down the straightaway. Looks like Curtis able to pull away just a little bit. That's going to keep the gap at about 0.3 of a second, but Shire will get the big toe down the straightaway. Can't quite attempt the pass through the 130R. Don't think he's close enough to make the dive into 2 either. Battle for the race lead that we saw in Free V is a battle for 5th here in the Bolt Series. And both of these guys you would expect to be up front, or at least towards the front, when the Shock Series heads off to Milwaukee here at 10:15 in the East. Shire still holding on to the back of James Curtis as we are down to just a couple of laps to go here. Field working lap number 20, down to 2 to go. Here comes the move. Shire going to have the look inside into the 130R. Nothing Curtis can do to defend that pass. Shire made the draft work for him. You wonder if he may have made the pass a hair early, leaving Curtis a couple of laps to try to get around, but the gap already up to 0.6 of a second. As a reminder, coming up 10:15 in the East, the TNT Shock Series heads off to the Milwaukee Mile. Tomorrow night on the high side hustle, Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright going to talk to Logan Schuchart in an interview that we recorded just before we got on the air here tonight, because Logan will be running the World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte. Maybe do a little bit of a watch along with the guys there. But we are down to the white flag lap here, and it has been all Nicholas Daly. Best lap time of 1:15.707. Last lap time of 1:15.8. Daly has not put a wheel wrong this entire evening. Out of the hairpin, and it is a smooth sail from here. Down into Spoon for the final time. Onto the straightaway. Checkered flag is in the air. And Nicholas Daly will claim the win in the TNT Bolt Series. Got to go back a full 12 seconds to find J.W. Miller. Here comes Stephen Thompson, Simon Fell, and Wes Shire across the line. James Curtis going to come home in the 6th position. James Watson getting around Bill Walker.
Yes, sir.
On the white flag lap. That's going to put James right back where he started in the 7th position. As we see 7th and 8th come across the line, and the final car to complete his lap will be Mike
Hooray for
McCullen.
consistency.
If there is one thing you are, Mr. Watson, it is mediocre.
Yay!
With everybody making it across the line, let's show you the race results here this evening. Nicholas Daly getting the win by 12.3 seconds over J.W. Miller. Stephen Thompson rounding out your podium. Simon Fell, Wes Shire complete the top 5. James Curtis, James Watson, Bill Walker, Mike McCullen, the 9 cars that finish on the lead lap. Peter Donchak finishing in the 10th position, 8 laps down. Mike Barry and Matt Galida were a did not start here this evening. Taking a look here to see if we have Nicholas Daly available, and we do not. So we'll do a couple of Victory Lane interviews here, at least a couple, as we wait to see if our race winner is going to peek in. Let's bring in Stephen Thompson, our 3rd place finisher here this evening. Tell you what, Stephen, the car looked pretty good. It was one of those races that once you got through any possible lap 1 issues, it really was just a matter of keep all 4 wheels on the tarmac.
Yeah, I think everyone was a little nervous going into the first turn, full speed, too wide. Everyone got in a nice little line, braked for the super hard hairpin. I didn't really see any direct incidents besides Simon, but he was catching up to me too. He definitely had the pace because he was starting up front. But Nick just ran away with it, and I was happy to be driving all alone. Have a little 5-second gap and a 3-second gap.
Yeah, basically that's one of those that you kind of got to run your own race, come home with a podium and a pretty good points night.
Yeah, I think it's always a little bit encouraging to try to qualify midfield and keep up with the guys in the front and just keep it clean. I think everyone had some pretty aggressive setups. They were wanting to go real fast down that straightaway, and it was a fun night. I was confused at first. I thought it was the squiggly oval loop thing on the other side of the complex, but turns out it's hairpins and straightaways.
Yes, we got to run the fun layout tonight, that's for sure. So congratulations on the podium finish here. Let's get the sponsor plugs and thank yous handled.
Thank you guys, as always. It's so great to watch these broadcasts, even when it's not for TNT night. We'll give the normal shout-outs, Maddie, Paige, Mike, Levi, my parents, my grandfather, and Press Start Energy, pressstart.gg. Go buy a 12-pack.
All right, there you go, brother. Thank you very much for that. Let's bring in our runner-up tonight, J.W. Miller. J.W. had a little bit of a front seat there to the issue that Wes had early on, and then after that, leader was gone. You were best in class, I guess you would say.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty uneventful race for us, which was good. One of my favorite racetracks, so glad to get a second here.
What's it like is from a driver's perspective, you know the leader's long gone, and especially with how the incident with Wes happened, you kind of knew there wasn't going to be much you were going to do to catch him. How do you mentally keep yourself in that zone of, I still have to keep hitting my marks and turning clean laps?
Well, I was actually using my gap back to Steven kind of to keep the laps up and basically keep myself fresh, I guess. It's not too easy to lose your focus here, though. It's a pretty fun track, a lot of good corners on it. So
Yes, I absolutely love this half of the Suzuka circuit, so I will agree with you on that. So congratulations on another podium finish here in the TNT Rock Block, and let's get your sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of here.
yeah, thanks as always to you guys on our end for doing the broadcast. Thanks to James for being on the car, and thanks to everybody at TNT.
All right, bud, thank you very much. We appreciate it here, and let's bring in our race winner tonight, Nicholas Daly. Good Lord, man. There's beatdowns, and then there's whatever the heck you did to the field tonight. Congratulations on getting your first win in, I believe, your first start in the TNT Bolt Series.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good race.
Did you see any of what happened to West Shire behind you, or were you kind of in that mode of there's nothing going on ahead of me, you don't have to worry about it?
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened. I just looked in my rear view and he was suddenly gone. But yeah, I asked him over the radio what happened, and it looks like he hit the curb exactly the same, I think, what I did. So I may have kind of like unintentionally led him over the curb. Luckily, I was able to keep the car straight, but yeah, I thought my race was over right there.
That's one of those that once you get that kind of early issue out of the way, you were in an absolute different world tonight. Mentally, as a driver, is it difficult to keep your focus, or is this layout just so challenging that you really can't lose focus on it?
Yeah, I mean, I was just really focusing on not making a mistake because it's pretty easy to spin out in these cars, just losing the back end. But yeah.
Well, it was a fantastic drive for you tonight. You're going to go 1-for-1 in series starts here. Hopefully we see you again next week. But let's get any sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of.
Yeah, thank you to all the organizers, Wes and TNT, for setting up the league. It's pretty awesome.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And let's wrap things up here with my co-host for the night driving the race car, Mr. James Watson. And I tell you what here, James, we might have given you a little bit of a hard time during this one, but it was a pretty fun race. You guys got to turn some clean laps. No major issues anywhere. Just kind of fun turning laps here at a great race course.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I only spun once by not even knowing what the heck I needed to do around this course until, like, right as qualifying started. Yeah, this was a fun little race. I wasn't expecting us to do this layout, but I think it was a lot more entertaining than if we did the East layout that all of us were kind of anticipating.
Well, now what do you think as we head off to the Milwaukee Mile here to round out the rock block with the PM18s?
Yeah, I don't really know to be quite honest. I've never run this car here before. I don't have a good track record here. I have no idea what to expect. It's going to be something.
All right, rage quits from James Watson, my favorite thing to see. All right, bud, good luck tonight. We'll let you get over there into that car, and we're getting out of here as well until 10:15 in the East, about 15 minutes away. For James Watson, our fantastic, once again, camera design by Connor Baldwin. My name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you hanging out with us. We'll see you in just a little bit here for the TNT Shock Series coming up at the Milwaukee Mile.